Welcome to the State of Survival. Today, our team is talking about the most recent troublesome launch of the day before. Yet the public saw the tragedy unfold with apprehension and awareness and had expected no less. Were there any blatant misdirections? And let's be honest, I say misdirections because I think lies is thrown around too much. And I think misdirections is actually a little more stern, where because they were intending to lead the fan base in a different direction completely than what was being presented. Were there any blatant misdirections in the way the game was presented that kind of caught you off guard? Maybe ones you weren't expecting?
Yeah, I think overall, while I didn't expect the day before to be kind of anything more than kind of a failure, I did expect there to be at least quite a few more core functionalities to the game. I didn't expect it to be what they promised us because, again, of previous experiences, but I did expect there to be something to build upon. But in reality, they misdirected us so much I didn't feel like the game really even delivered in that. I felt very even let down that there was a possibility of a future in this game. Mind you, I did at first seem somewhat optimistic within the first couple of hours, but I lost that optimistic pretty early when I realized how not only buggy was the game, but also lackluster. Um, and then it kind of honestly, it just felt like they just lied to everybody. I know you said that maybe we shouldn't be using that because of the misdirection, maybe, but it kind of felt like that. It felt like they purposely showed us something just to never include it, no matter what.
Yep. Open
Yeah,
world MMO survival game. Nope. Nope. Nope.
absolutely. And my opinion is going to be very short and painful for Fantastic on this, because I had to watch people play the game. Basically, I downloaded the game. We all started playing. I was able to get in. I made my character in this robust character developer where I could choose between six faces. Got into the game, and the first thing that I noticed when I was playing was that every NPC talks to you really flat. They also use turn of phrases that I wasn't expecting. Like, instead of being like, that's the right of it, they would just say the right of it. Like, it seemed like words were missing. And I couldn't help but feel the monotone dialogue in the game. Did they script this entire thing with AI voices?
They did.
Because
Yes, they did.
they had to have.
Yes.
Because the if you turn subtitles on, none of what they're saying is grammatically correct in any stretch of the word, and it's all monotone. They all had the same emotion. And I felt like that was one of the lies I didn't expect. One of the misdirections is because every time you looked at a trailer and you saw an NPC talking, it was like, wow, you did a great job. Like, once you start the game, hey, what's that over there? Oh, we need to grab and take it back. That was the most emotion I've heard out of any voice acting throughout the whole game. And then when the Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken was working on you, I was like, wow, this guy looks really good. But he was like, oh, stay still. You are wounded. You will be okay. Do you need some water? You should probably talk to Chris. It's like, okay, I'm in like a weird uncanny valley situation because there's just something about this dialogue that's rough. Then
Oh
I
yeah,
went I went to fire my gun. We encountered our first zombie. After having to look for them, I fired my gun. My game crashed. It
I
took
remember
me
that.
it took me 15 goddamn minutes to log back into the same goddamn server. And don't tell me, oh, it's full. It said hi pop, full pop. We didn't see anybody in the goddamn server. So I finally get back in and I am inside one of the non-enterable buildings and I can't get out. And every time I logged in, I fell and hurt myself. So I thought, I'm going to go join a different server, see if it puts me back in Woodbury. And no, nope, couldn't get into a server. I literally played maybe 6 minutes of the game outside of Woodbury and had to watch people to formulate my opinion on what was actually missing from the title other than, me not being able to sign in, which is just put a Dave over my mouth cuz that this game deserves it.
Oh man, oh man. the the thing is there were so many misdirections with all of this, and like they even misdirected us about the lawsuit they apparently had already cleared up. They never resolved it. It was still ongoing. They literally tried to cover it up with their PR, but it never went away. And that's why, according to some of the devs and stuff that no longer work there, that's why a lot of the content or so-called content that they promised was missing, because they were still under being sued by other devs that they didn't pay.
Okay, now I'm going to ask a question that I thought to myself. I always ask this whenever I run into something this dumpster fire. Was it all bad? Did the game have any redeemable qualities?
These zombies were not potato people.
That's true. I watched one guy playing and it was like, oh, a military zombie. He shot off his helmet the first shot, but then had to unload 7 other shots. And he goes, whoa, I only have 12 bullets left. I'm going to switch to my melee weapon. Wrong.
Melee. What's that?
Redeemable qualities. Steam gave me a refund after 8 hours.
I think Steam knew it because the moment that people were like, this is crap, I want a refund, Steam's like, here you go. Here you go. Have you ever heard of the day after sale, which they did? Bravo, Steam. Bravo. The day after bundle and then putting survival games on sale after that. Magnificent.
I thought, if looking at Was It All Bad, I thought it was a really nice showcase for Unreal Marketplace assets.
Right? That's what they really should have done is had like little stalls where you could walk up and enter your PayPal and go, I want this car in my game. Um, in fact, I have a link that I'm going to send to our producers so that they could show a list of all of the assets that they've included. And one of the assets that they had in their game was the city.
The whole city.
Yeah,
What?
it's crazy.
I will say the tragedy, what I found redeemable in a way was that I do think somebody sat down and came up with a great concept to an extraction shooter. And had they said it was an extraction shooter, the foundation for potentially a good extraction shooter was there. I could see the visage, the specter, the ghost of Christmas future of a game down underneath the absolute tons of garbage they threw on top of it. I think that it was kind of like one guy had an idea and came with a storyboard and game mechanics, was like, here's the foundation of a game I think would be really fun. And they're like, that's excellent. That's going to be hard. Let's just eliminate
So
half of it.
That's your one unpopped, pristine kernel of popping corn at the bottom of 16 tons of dung.
this is going to be the example that everyone should look at, include, like I said, including dev studios. This is not. This is what not to do, because the community was calling them out from the very beginning and everything else, and they did exactly what the community thought they would do. So look at this when you're developing your game and realize that hype is good, but don't mislead or misdirect or lie, whatever you want to call it, your community. Show them what you really can give them, or at least be transparent enough to let them know there are things that you weren't able to achieve.
I think this also really put a spotlight on the demand for this type of game. They even
Mm-hmm.
with all of this, obviously this is going to just totally crater. Over 200,000 units sold within the first day and a half. That's crazy at a not a $10 price, but a $40 price point. That to me says there is a gigantic appetite for a new title in this genre that's got that highly polished feel to it. Somebody's just got to execute on it.
What Red said kind of brings up another thing. Have you heard of Once Human?
Uh huh.
So Once Human, immediately after Fantastic announced that they're done and the day before collapsed, they went defunct. Once Human was like, hey, streamers, play this game. It's not coming out till 2024, but play it. Once Human is kind of following the spirit of what the day before should have been, only it's more Lovecraftian Cthulhu in its atmospheric. But the fact that
Mhm.
they released a game that they weren't planning on having people play on YouTube and stuff, and it was a more complete title than the day before could ever hope to achieve in 50 years, shocked me. Shocked me. I still bring the original question back to you, chat, or to our community. Has the trend of scam alpha titles, broken promises, and unfinished final products caused you to approach game purchases differently than from 10 years ago? What do you look forward to when you purchase a game, just to make sure it's on the up and up? But from all of us here at State of Survival to you, thank you all so much. We will see you in the next episode, and keep on thriving.
Cheers, everybody.
Goodbye for now.